Amy from Cooking with a Full Plate, and I'm here today to show you my recipe for healthier cinnamon roll coffee cake. If you are catching this right when I post it, I am recommending this as an awesome Mother's Day recipe. And the reason for that is that you can make it all ahead of time. You can clean up the mess, which is, based on my surveys and being a mom myself, exactly what your mom wants. And it's gonna be super delicious and not cause like that sugar crash that cinnamon rolls might normally cause. So let's go ahead and get started. This recipe does happen to be gluten-free. We're using almond flour, and it's based on a recipe from Ilana's Pantry. We're gonna make it a little bit more interesting by using some dates and pecans to add like that crunchy streusel topping that you're probably used to. So 3 eggs, a 1/4 cup of butter. I've already melted this, and a 1/2 cup of honey. Incidentally, I got these tools recently. I think it was for my birthday that I got these cool measuring cups that nest really well, and I just love them. They keep my drawer super organized. And this honey is a huge container from Costco. We're just about to use it up, which is kind of my favorite thing, as much as that doesn't make sense since I'll just have to buy more. So all the liquid ingredients are getting whisked together. I'm gonna add like a teaspoon of vanilla. That's just my version of a teaspoon. And that's gonna get whisked together. So it's nice and mixed up. Here in the large bowl, we're gonna put our dry ingredients. In this case, it's 2.5 cups of almond flour. Another Costco package here. You can totally get all of this at Costco. And like I said, your mom's gonna love this because you're gonna make it the night before and then you're gonna clean everything up. Because that's what mom really wants. She doesn't want breakfast if she's gonna have to do the cleaning after you. I would pair this with like some cooked up breakfast sausages and maybe a big fruit salad. I'm just kind of whisking the almond flour because almond flour can be kind of clumpy, and that helps get some of the clumps out. Okay, and then with that is a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon, because this is cinnamon roll coffee cake after all. Okay, and you can maybe see what I'm doing here, but I'm just working, like anytime I'm done with a particular utensil, I'm just throwing it in the sink. So I clean out my sink ahead of time, and then I'm throwing everything in there, and that's gonna help clean up be super fast. It'll just all go straight into the dishwasher afterwards, and that's my tip for keeping it nice and clean. A tip from a mom on how to keep the kitchen clean so that your mom doesn't have to clean it. Riddle me that. Now the wet ingredients go with the dry ingredients, and we're gonna mix these with a spoon because if you use a whisk, it's all gonna get stuck in the middle. So ahead of time, I did a cup of pecans and a cup of pitted dates in the food processor with a teaspoon of cinnamon and a pinch of sea salt to make this kind of like crunchy streusel topping. And so basically what we're gonna do now is layer these two things. More in the sink. Good quick wipe. Again, we're working clean here for your mamas. Okay. So I have this cake pan, round cake pan. You could do this in a square one too, you just don't want it to get too thin. And I'm gonna do I sprayed it with some olive oil spray. It's like Pam olive oil or something. And I'm just making sure it covers the bottom. It's pretty thick, so you're gonna have to give it like a little bit of a whirl. But you want it to spread over the whole bottom. So 1/2 of it goes in, and then about 1/2 of your crumble topping goes in the middle. That's gonna add some of that like cinnamon roll crunchy goodness in there. And then the other 1/2 on top. And then you still have 1/2 of the topping left, but we're not gonna use that yet because if we do, it's gonna brown too much in the oven. It's gonna get burnt. It's not gonna be tasty, so we're just gonna add it close to the end for some like natural sweetness and chewiness and crunchiness, and then we're also gonna make a cream cheese icing that gets drizzled over the top so it looks super fancy, like you worked really hard for your mom. But as you can see, we're like 5 minutes in and we're already done with most of the work. Just really go for it and combine the two by doing like a good swirl in here. I'm going to give this a cinnamon roll swirl, mixing together the two layers on the crunchy topping. And then this is going to go into my 350-degree oven. I'll show you what it looks like. As you can see, I've removed the cooled cake from the pan and it stuck a little bit, so you just want to make sure you grease the pan really well. And what I'm spreading on now is the cream cheese glaze. This was a mix of 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, 1 cup of powdered sugar, a tablespoon of warm water, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a little pinch of sea salt. All the details are in the recipe. And I just put that into a Ziploc bag and cut off the corner really small, and am now just kind of squeezing it out over the top of the cake. The cool thing is that this is going to keep you from seeing and noticing any of the imperfections. And then I'm sprinkling the remaining topping, the half that we didn't put into the cake, over the top here. And feel free to make it kind of messy. You'll see on my cake stand later, I saved a little bit of extra and sprinkled that on once it was on the cake stand as well. And here's the finished product. I'd love it if you'd check out more of my healthy recipes for busy families and tips for faster cooking on my YouTube channel, Cooking with a Full Plate.